Back on BASHUNDHARA Cement BPL T20, and what a game of cricket we've had here in Sylhet. Who doesn't like a super over? You're talking about Rajshahi making 159 for 8 in their 20 overs. Sahibzada was the pick of the batters, making that explosive 65 of just 46 balls. And in response, Rangpur came close, 159 for 6, but it all went down to the wire. It all went down to that super over, and in that situation, Rajshahi Warriors came on top. Yeah, you've got to say it's been an absolute treat for the fans here, for the spectators, and I'm sure that everyone who's been following this game really enjoyed it, because there's nothing more exciting than a super over in franchise cricket. I've got with me Samannoy Ghosh as well as Farveez Maharoof. Lots of smiles on our face because we were all pretty involved. Samannoy, firstly, what a game.
Intense thriller, cliffhanger, and the first super over in the edition. And as you rightly said, who does not love a super over?
Absolutely. We came close to it actually at the start of the tournament as well in one of the games where it wasn't meant to be. But just talk us through the thrill of that last over. When you talk about that super over, what do you think Rajshahi Warriors, I mean, they were the ones who held their nerve. What did you like about them today?
Everything about them. I thought the character was really tested when Tawhid Hridoy and David Malan was striking the ball well. But Ripon Mondal, for a youngster, he has ice running through his veins. And the way he bowled the 20th over, the way he bowled the super over, I think certainly looking at how Ripon Mondal has been developing, there's a superstar in the making.
All right, 7 runs were needed in the end, but they managed to do the job really well. It was relatively easy pickings for them, Samannoy.
Yeah, I think it was a good tactical move to just change the fact that Sahibzada Farhan will not take the strike, given the fact that Mustafiz is coming on to bowl. So Tanzil Tamim took the strike, whipped the first one away for 4, and then soft hands, Mahabhai.
Sensible stuff. I think this is good batting, not only for the striking, but I thought the tactical decisions what Samannoy just mentioned about, Tawhid Hridoy, big pardon, Tanzil Hassan Tamim taking the strike. Ideally, even everyone with Sahibzada Farhan should take the strike because he's been striking the ball well. But when Faiz is bowling the cutters into the pitch, you ideally would like to have a left hand at the strikers end. And everything about Rajshahi Warriors, you just got to applaud and say well done.
And they were put in a position where it was just 7 runs that they were looking at in terms of chasing in that super over. But all credit to Ripon Mondal, because we spoke about how well he's bowled in the tournament so far. It's not just this game, he's bowled well in the last game as well. But he seemed to have a clear plan, Samannoy.
And he said that Captain Nazmul Hussain Shanto, Mushfiqur Rahim, the leaders, gave him the clear plan. Tariq Aziz Khan from the dugout as well. And he was confident with those Yorkers. He's carried on that good form from the Rising Stars Asia Cup in Doha. And he's been confident, 4-4 in the previous match. And let's not forget that in the regular time, he also defended 7 in the last over, giving away 6. So in total, both overs combined, he's just given away 12 runs. And overall, team-wise, they've taken 5 wickets in these 2 overs. So that's fantastic. I think this guy, Ripon Mondal, is really a find for Bangladesh cricket.
Farveez, if as a pacer you have pace and you have the ability to bowl such Yorkers and bowl at full, I mean, what does he bring to the table? When you look at him, he seems like the complete package.
He does look like a complete package. I think in the last 6 weeks to 7 weeks in his cricketing career, starting from the Emerging Asia Cup up to now, he's on his honeymoon. He's doing so well, and on top of the mark, he knows what he's going to do, and he's been guided by this captain Nazmul Hussain Shanto. I think Bangladesh has found a bowler who's quite cool under pressure, and he's young, he's tall, he has the bounce, he has the pace, and if he's been guided properly, probably in the next 6 months, the temptation will be there to push him through the system. But I think he's still got a lot of development to do. But certainly I see a big superstar developing.
Absolutely, lots of potential in him. But we're talking about the entertainment and drama that we've seen in this game, Samannoy. That last over before the super over was equally entertaining, because we saw a run out in the last ball. And just talk us through the pressure in terms of how Rajshahi was able to absorb the pressure.
Right, I want to talk about the fielders. So thanks to our production for bringing this up. Nazmul Hussain Shanto, right before this delivery, or a couple of deliveries ago, he placed that fielder right there, and that is S.M. Mehrab Hassan, who's one of the better fielders. The awareness, the calmness in him. He collects the ball with both hands, getting the basics right, and then he runs for it. He's young, he's quick. And the recently concluded NCL, he was rewarded the best fielder in that tournament. Let's not forget, he also bowled the 17. They required 22 of the last 3. He only gave away 2 runs at the 70th over, whereof it has been a team effort. Yasir Ali taking those 2 catches, equally crucial.
I mean, we see often, Maha, that you see a lot of fumbles in the end. Whenever there's a pressure situation, you've got a super over, you're expecting a super over and you're in the last over. Often you see a lot of fumbles in the field or dropped catches. So what does it take to really sort of stay calm in such situations?
The captain said it in the post-match presentation. He said that he told the boys to be calmer, believe in themselves. And it comes down from the captain. When the captain is leading from the front and giving that confidence, that's all about. And lot of good things to talk about, Raj. I mean, when it comes to leading up to the game, everyone would have thought Rangpur Riders would have easily won the game. I'm pretty sure Samannoy and Darren Gough would have, would certainly agree with me. But for me, the way Najmul Hassan Shanto led the side and Ripon Mondal under pressure, keeping calm, was the difference.
If I may add, Mahava, you brought up the right point. Thanks to Goughy, I went for the underdogs in both the matches. It came out right. Thank you, Goughy.
Yeah, you've had a good record so far in this tournament in terms of your predictions. He's got nearly all his predictions right.
At least today.
All right, you got your prediction. You got your prediction right today. Sahibzada Farhan, then you spoke about him. We spoke about him actually in the pre-match show. How he hasn't been able to go all guns blazing the way you expect from somebody like him with the kind of strike rate that he possesses. But today was different.
Yeah, and in the pre-show itself, we mentioned that it is due from him. It was due from him. Yeah, we didn't really fire the previous matches, was dismissed in one of the matches, the very first delivery. Today, he was calm and collected. He took a bit of time, and then he played to his strengths. Clean hitter of the ball, and hits them firmly as well.
Yeah, not only for the Rajshahi Warriors, these are good signs for Pakistan leading up to the World Cup. I thought he was quite steady in the first few deliveries. Imad Wasim got him down the leg side, stumped in the game against Dhaka Capital. So just to get out of the mark, and once he got out of the mark, he was sensational. It was power, it was muscle, it was timing as well.
It's interesting when you talk about these high-risk strategy players. You've got such players at the top who have the ability to really give you those starts, but then they can also get out cheaply as well. I mean, how do you look at such players in terms of value? Because like we said, there is always an element of risk when you talk about high-value players who can provide the value, but at the same time they can get out cheaply as well.
A relatively young career so far for Sahibzada Farhan, but he's been spoken a lot, not only in franchise cricket, even in international cricket, even in the Asia Cup. He was fantastic. Lot to like about. I mean, he backs a punch when he wants to hit it. Certain areas that he could work on, especially with the ball moving around a little bit, that will come with experience playing much more cricket around the world. But overall, I think Sahibzada Farhan is not only important for Rajshahi Warriors, he's going to be an important cog in the wheel for Pakistan coming into the World Cup.
And another guy who's going to be important for Bangladesh is going to be Tawheed Rido. I mean, he scored some runs today. He got some runs. And we know what he can, just in terms of potential. He's got great potential, Samannoy. It's a different story that it was on the losing end. But just in terms of the talent he possesses, what do you think about his innings today?
Yeah, he's fired previously. Going through a slip in form, if I may say, a slump. Rather a bit of it, a dip of it, but then he's a character and he's strong at heart. He fights back and he showed that today. And I think this knock, striking at 135, 53, I think this was the innings that was taking the game away from Rajshahi Warriors because Malan was taking his time.
Yeah, I like the fact that he has some arrogance about himself. Ever since he got graduated from the U19 setup in 2020, it's a lot to like about Tawheed Rido. First name, in my opinion, after the captain in the national side. And he's striking the goal just like Sahibzada Farhan is very important for Bangladesh. And lot to like about. There's fire in his belly. The little battle against Tanzim Hassan Shakib, I enjoyed that. So a lot to like about Tawheed Rido.
Just at the top then, you have somebody like David Malan who's so experienced, and we've seen him in franchise cricket and just generally as well. His innings though, in light of the runs that we are looking at, I mean, perhaps do you think he could have done something differently?
Well, right at this stage after the game, I think it's easy to point fingers at him and things can be said because he was the batter in form. But last 3 overs, 22 was required. Other batters were also in there. So yes, he will be held accountable, but there were other batters because they had 8 wickets in hand. So the other batters should have showed up and came to the party as well. So I think, but Rangpur Riders is such a side, and with experience, they've lifted the BPL trophy before. They've won the GSL once as well. They are going to fight back stronger.
Can we consider this loss from them as an aberration then, Farveez?
Certainly an eye-opener. I mean, I was just there, just finishing off the game, and I could see the disappointment not only in the dugout but even in the owner's box. I'm pretty sure some stern words would definitely take place now as we speak, and that has to happen. Some open hearts, open minds, just putting it out there, and just to see where they lost. I thought they lost it in the middle overs, where I thought David Malan should have had much more emphasis in those overs. Got to be said, he's a fantastic player, but one reason why it went down to the wire, he should have finished in the 18th over, in my opinion.
Absolutely. A bit more impetus from him would have definitely helped Rangpur Riders' cause. All right, quick look at what we've got for you tomorrow. The action continues. The BPL T20 action continues tomorrow, and it's match number 9, and we'll be joining you at 1:15 p.m. for a 2 o'clock start live from Sylhet International Cricket Stadium. And the first game that we have is Dhaka Capitals, and they're taking on Chattogram Royals. And then it's the home side, Sylhet Titans, and they are up against Rangpur Riders. Thoughts on the exciting encounters lined up tomorrow?
Well, first and foremost, the new year began on a high with some hype. We're ending the first day on a high, so I'm very happy with it. We're all smiles, even though Goffey said that it's past his bedtime. So I think that augurs well for BPL 2026, and we look forward to tomorrow.
Yeah, it's just so good for the tournament. Parting thoughts, Maha, when you look at a tournament, there's always that one game that sort of really takes the whole league up and makes it peak.
Absolutely, I think this is the game. 2 quality sides on paper, and Najmul Hassan Shanto as a captain have done well, not only of his personal batting but as leading the side. So I think this is the game, probably first double header in the New Year's would have just pumped up the BPL. My adrenaline is so high still. I don't think I can sleep as soon as I get to the hotel room. But certainly looking forward for the games tomorrow.
All right, thank you so much, gentlemen, for your thoughts. It's certainly time to hit the bed for all of us, not just for Darren Gough, but for all of us. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's action. Super over is exactly what you need to really take this tournament up a notch by a level. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's action. The action continues tomorrow. Another doubleheader awaits you. Until then, it's goodbye from all of us.